Hey, this is Jeff Kohler, the Option Addict from OptionAddict.net, and that's right, time for another weekly watch list. The market's not even open yet, but I figured I'd get beat on this so that you guys have some ideas heading into Monday morning's trading. So keep an eye on a few things this week, PPI, CPI being some of the biggest things that are coming out this week that might cause the market to steady its downward cycle. If we see some mild reporting out of those numbers, then you'll likely see the market maybe even start to float to the upside a little bit. But as of right now, we keep cracking through support levels. In fact, right now I've got the S&P 500 index. I'm on the 60-day chart here, and what I want to do is show you, using the old Fibonacci lines, where exactly we're at. We're right in between the old 50% and 61% retracement lines. So a breakdown below this level could mean we probably see a little more downside.
It's amazing.
The market's also going to be really curious to see what the retail sales numbers look like this week. And we also have Walmart and Home Depot announcing earnings this week, which could make the market move a little bit. So those are some of the things to keep on the radar for the upcoming week. But let's go ahead and get started with a few stock charts. I'm going to start with a few price patterns, with first one being ACI, which is good old Arch Coal. And what I like here is kind of off of the highs here, a nice little flag pattern, which means if we break to the upside here, we hopefully will have enough momentum to send the stock into new 52-week highs. I'm also watching JEC, which is Jacobs Engineering. And I put this on the radar about a week ago, but we still have a nice ascending triangle here that's still developing. Watch for a breakout to the upside here at about $88 per share. If we do see that, we're likely to see about a 10-point move in this particular stock.
Sweet.
Next, I'm going to look at Tower Group, ticker symbol TWGP. And I'm really curious about this one. Maybe I might not even label this a price pattern yet, because what I see here is what resembles the ascending triangle shape. The problem I have, though, is, of course, it's not in an uptrend. I mean, we do have higher highs and higher lows developing, but the trend is still young here. But I'm just keeping an eye out on this one, because we formed some really good resistance here at about $30.50 per share. And watching for a breakout here could send this stock to about 3-4 point movement, which puts the stock back up towards its highs. So I'm watching this one going into next week, as well as STO. Don't ask me to pronounce the company name, but a beautiful ascending triangle up here at resistance. We did have one nice blow off top here, which I'm kind of discounting that movement here, because all other highs fall right at about $34, $35 per share. So keep an eye on STO. Next is APC. And Darko Petroleum, same thing. We have kind of the resemblance of an ascending triangle here up at our highs. So I'm watching this right at about $60 per share. A nice break here could spell about a 5-point movement, 6-point movement for the stock. Last in the price patterns category is Nuvasiv, NUVA. This was on there last week, so it's not going to be much of a surprise. I'm watching this flag pattern develop here, looking for a breakout to the upside. Next, a couple of support bounces I'm watching. We'll start with good old CW, Curtis Wright. If you look at this, really strong upward trend bouncing off support here at about 53. Next, I've got MTD. Same thing, we're in the middle of a pullback here, so I'd probably want to see a little more price stabilization at support, but we're getting pretty close to that level. Next is Express Scripts. Same thing, nice little dip here in an upward trend. Harris, which was a great breakout I talked about a couple weeks ago, has now given back those gains and settling back down towards support. So I'm kind of watching this as a retest. Next is ABB. If you want to get into some conglomerates here, you got a pretty nice dip off of a strong upward trend. Pretty liquid stock here. Also, in the realm of exchanges, it's pretty hot on CME last week, but the market pullback really dampened a lot of those breakout trades that I was watching. NYX here, you're watching this. This one's still not at its highs as opposed to the CME, the ICE. So I think this is a pretty good value play here. Watch it to get towards $100 per share. Next is the old BEAV. If you leave it to this stock here, I'm hoping it's going to get back up to a 52-week high. I'll watch this as a breakout at 45. You can see the resistance line still here. We got it. We got a really strong move, and now it's probably a good time to buy that dip. Next is ARTC. Same thing. Nice little breakout, retracing back to its old resistance level, new support level. Let's try to catch it here at 60. Next is ABX. Talking about the miners here. Gold doing phenomenal right now at this point, which is spilling off even into the mining space. So keep an eye on ABX. We've got a nice little dip here in an upward trend. I think you got to buy this here. Next is PCZ. I love the price pattern here. More important, I like Canada. I like energy. I like this setup right here at 58. Old resistance, new support. Keep an eye on that as it stabilizes here. Next, I've got OXY, which was a price pattern from last week, a nice symmetrical triangle, which broke out and now it's come right back down to retest off of old resistance as new support. Next, FWLT, Foster Wheeler. Watch it as it just kind of trends sideways here. Caught a nice movement in anticipation of this little breakout we saw on Thursday, but it gave back a lot of those gains here on Friday. So I want to watch it here at about 150, 155, see how it opens up on Monday. Next is SYNA, and this has been a really strong stock. I've used this stock several times, but hey, I think you got to buy this dip again right here off of about $54 per share. So next I got EGN. I like this bounce right here off of support. Pretty strong stock, strong trend. It's a good moving stock. Next, TBSI, the old Water Transportation Group. I want to watch this though. I'm curious. A lot of these stocks are selling off pretty hard, and if this stock doesn't get a nice movement off of support, then yeah, that might change my viewpoint as to trade it. Last but not least, KWK. You got to watch Quicksilver Resources here. Same thing. Nice dip and a strong upward trend. Some bearish ideas, and again, it's early in the week, so there's a lot of stocks I'm watching that really aren't close to entry points yet, and rather than fill them up here on a watch list, I'll probably present them throughout the upcoming week. But there's a lot of good ideas out there. I'm waiting for a little more price action to confirm. Anyway, let's look at a couple bearish ideas. UB being one. I want to see it get a little bit closer up here to 52, 53 before I go out there and buy some puts. Next, I'll look at FED. FED, same thing. It's right at that level. I think I'm pretty comfortable getting them here as long as it doesn't break too much higher. FAF, like this setup here quite a bit. You can see it rallying right back up to this resistance line. Stock has had a hard time breaking beyond that from here. MTB, which is one I gave out a couple times, and I'm watching this to rally again. Try to catch it up here at about 93, 94. I think this is going to be a great idea to get more puts. Piper Jaffray, PJC. Same thing, let it rally back up to about 46 or so. Get yourself some put options here. Next is IHOP, IHP. Yeah, not a big name stock. I mean, you don't hear about it too often, but I like this setup here as it climbs right up back to 60. I'm going to short as much of it as I can. Next, Public Storage. Same thing, I like this rally here up to about 77. We've had some success trading this in the past. ANF, now I'll admit flat out that I was watching the stock out there at its highs. In fact, right up here, it's getting pretty bullish on the stock. And what did it do? Retail's just imploded. And Abercrombie, and there was a couple other high-end retail stores I liked, but you can see that the whole retail space is dragging everybody down. So I think you got to get long some puts here. Next is WTS, Watts Water Technologies. Again, wait for it to rally a little bit, get it up here close to 30. Columbia, COLM. Traded this one in the past and obviously did tremendously well. Looking for another entry point right here at about 49 or so. Gymboree, GYMB. You can see this one's pretty darn close, right here at about 34 or so. But it's been really strong lately. Plus, I know somebody who's actually long the stock, thinking this is a pretty good value, and they keep on buying it. So I'm kind of tentative as to my conviction on this one. So let's keep a close eye on it. Next is JCG. Again, I had you guys watching this one a couple weeks back when it broke through support. Got a great move out of it from there. But now I'm watching it as a retest. Try to catch it here around 40. I actually got into this last week, but I think it still provides a good entry point here for those of you that haven't. Last but not least, CRM, Salesforce.com. It broke support out of this nice double top formation that you see here, and it rallied sharply on Friday, right back up to old support. So I want to keep an eye on it here at about 51, see how it reacts. A couple other stocks that I'm watching for breakouts. Force Labs is still on the map, FRX. ESV is one that I'm watching that's just been kind of basing here forever. Nile, N-I-L-E, it's looking pretty weak. In fact, I hope this thing breaks support because it looks like it's going to fall a lot. And PTRY, we've traded puts on this in the past and looks like it's getting ready to break support as well. A couple up at resistance, MOS, Mosaic, you can see kind of a flag formation up here, getting ready to pop. Golden, been long the stock as long as I can remember. Looks like another good entry point here. TKC, just now breaking out. This is Turkish Telecom, which you got to buy with both hands. Show me the money! COL, Rockwell Collins. You can see it's been just basing up here at its highs. And last but not least, FCN. There it is. Sideways trending up there at its highs. Like I said, folks, I got an early beat on the video this week, so I'm going to kind of see how the market opens, and I'll probably provide a lot more ideas throughout the week just by posting a few charts here and there. And that concludes my watch list, so thanks for watching.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.